Okay, part 3 of our quiz review. Got some decimals invited to the party today, so I'll make sure I look at those with you. But don't panic if you get decimal answers. That's going to be okay. So a couple extra little caveats we have here. If you have a median in a triangle or an angle bisector, right? They create proportional parts. So the first section up here, we're going to see some medians. And then when we get down to the bottom, you have angle bisectors. And we get those special parts, they create proportional parts as well. So up at the top, we have two similar triangles. And you have, they're similar by angle, but we have, in the first one, we can look at 7, a piece of that median of the bottom part of the triangle, to 22, which is the altitude. We can set that equal to, in the smaller triangle, 5.25 over x, right? See how 7 is a little piece and 22 is the altitude, and x is the altitude in the other triangle. So we have to put those in the same places. So we're going to cross multiply, and we would get 7x. And then when we do 22 times 5.25, we can let our calculator do that for us, but we're going to get 115.5. Oops. Let's try that again. So I had 7 to 22 equals 5.25 to x. We cross multiply and we have 7x equals 115.5. And now we divide both sides by 7. So x here would be 16.5. We're going to get some decimals. That's going to be okay. All right. So the second one, we have 33 to, it looks like 15 is the whole side at the bottom. It's not really going to matter because 33 is a median and x is the median of the other triangle, and we put 10 down at the bottom. Pretty easy. We cross multiply and we have 15x equals 330. Divide both sides by 15, and x is 22. Okay, so similarly, now I have 22, a side of the triangle, to 20, which is an altitude. So I have to set that equal to x, which is the side of the triangle, over 10, which is the altitude. Notice I have both altitudes in the bottom. Now, if this one, if you don't want to cross multiply that, if you see this right away, I know a lot of you are always raising your hand and asking me, Mr. Blalock, can I do it this way? Absolutely. I can see right away, look, 20 and 10 is half of 20, so half of 22, I can see right away x is going to be 11. So if you see that, that's 100%, that's fine. Nate V and Diego always spotting those shortcuts. So we have 220, 20x, when I cross multiply, equals 22 times 10, which is 220. 220. Okay, that's 220. And then we divide by 20. And either way, we get x equals 11. And the last one with these proportional parts, again, I'm going to say, in the first one, let's look at 18, the side, x, the median. Set that equal to 12.6, the side. So we have 18, the side, over x, the altitude, equals 12.6, the side, over 12, the altitude. And then I'll go ahead and cross multiply that. So we have 12.6 times x is 12.6x. And then when I do 18 times 12, I get 216. So if we divide both sides by 12.6, we get x equals 17.1. It's a pretty long decimal. I think it's 17.17, something like that, but it's 17.1 will be good. We can round that to 1 decimal place. Okay. So now in 5 and 6, I don't have the numbers and expressions filled in for me, so I have to pay attention to what's labeled here. So I have the two triangles that are similar to each other, RST and EFG. And then they furthermore tell me SH is an altitude, FJ is an altitude, and they're labeled that way as well. So they tell me ST is 6, so that's this piece right here, and SH is 5, that's the altitude. Okay. Then in the next triangle, I have FJ, which is the altitude, but I do not know what FG is. That's what they're asking me for, right? So I could set something up here like 6 is to 5, right? Side to altitude as X is to 7. We cross multiply, we have 5X equals 42. And then we divide both sides by 5. So I get X equals 8.4. Another decimal. Okay. Next one we'll try to label again. Same thing, we have altitudes again here. Here I have that AB is 24. Throw him in. And AD, which is the altitude, is 14. And then we have MQ is 10.5. He is right there. He's the altitude. Okay, that's this guy here. That's 14. And I want to find MN. Looking for this guy here. So if we say something like 14 to 24 equals, so notice I went altitude, right? 14 is the altitude, and over here MQ is the altitude, so MQ, which is 10.5, would have to live up here where my 14 lives, the other altitude, and then X is my unknown. So I cross multiply and I have 14X equals 10.5 times 24, which is 252. And then we divide by 14. So I get X equals 18. Actually comes out even for me. Okay. Okay, now I have some angle bisectors, which also create proportional parts. So here I have M, a side to 8, the piece at the bottom, is going to be equal to 26, a side to 12, the other piece at the bottom. We cross multiply. 8 times 26 is 208, equals 12M. Divide both sides by 12. And we do not get a nice even number. Here we get M equals 12.3. Okay, so always double check these on your calculator. My handwriting on this is tough. Doing the best I can with this screen and writing with my finger. But 12.3 for M there. Okay. And the last one, we got our angle bisector. So we got 20 over 7 equals 24 over X. So we have 20X equals 7 times 24, which is 168. And not a big surprise, we get another decimal today. I get X equals 8.4. Okay, so I hope that helps with your review. I'll open up the quiz on Friday, and you'll have the weekend to do it. But again, why not, get all this work done this week, knock the quiz out on Friday, and then you have your weekend off. And next week we can start with some new stuff. Okay? So good luck on the quiz, and I'll check back with you later.